That is so good.
Yeah. Welcome back. We are here in the Cluboratory at Miles of Golf. As always, I'm Luke. I'm joined by one of our expert club fitters, Sean Somerville. Sean, what's up, man?
How's it going?
You guys might remember Sean from our Dark Speed driver review that we did last year. Bringing him back in here to check out the latest Fairway release from Cobra. It is their Dark Speed Adapt line of fairways. Very similar to last year. We have the same three head shapes and models of an LS, an X, and a Max. LS being low spin, obviously. X being their middle, probably going to fit your most wide variety of golfers. And then their Max, which has the ability to put the weight in the heel for someone that might miss off to the right if you're a right-handed golfer, or to the left if you're a lefty. Starting off with some similarities and differences from that Dark Speed line. Starting with the LS in my hands right now. The first and maybe one of the biggest changes within just this LS head is they're bringing a higher lofted 3-wood into the mix, which with a low spin 3-wood is going to be incredible in here. Coming in at 16 degrees, it is their 3HF. I am very, very excited to get that in here and put it in golfers' hands. A second change that we see from Dark Speed to Dark Speed Adapt in the LS is new tungsten weighting internally within the head. They have it placed in the toe and heel section to just add a little bit more stability for a golfer. When you get into these lower spinning heads, sometimes you might have the chance to have your dispersion widen a little bit from left to right. CG push farther forward can maybe make that a little bit harder to control, so adding that weight to maybe get the best of both worlds. Going into the X model, some changes within that. One big change is a modification to the power bridge. Changing it up a little bit to push CG a little bit farther lower and forward within the head. Again, a little bit faster ball speeds, hopefully, with that change, and a little bit lower spinning to make sure that the X model, albeit meaning to spin a little bit more than the LS, they still want to keep it down enough that we can maximize distance and not have that head overspin on us. And then going into the third head that we're looking at today of the Max head, their more draw bias 3-wood. Not a whole lot of changes year to year. Across the board between LS, X, and Max, we see new shaping from last year where Sean even noted it. They all look a little bit more similar to each other as opposed in Dark Speed where it wasn't like they were completely different head to head, but you did notice small changes going from LS up to Max. Now we see them be a little bit more similar, as well as a more aerodynamic design is what Cobra's telling us. Maybe able to swing it a little bit faster, produce a little bit faster ball speeds, more distance, all stuff that we love to hear here in the fitting bays. They also re-engineered their hot face. Every year, just like with the drivers, every year they are finding out the small tweaks that they can make to technology they already have to make it even better. So with the hot face, reinforcing that forged insert, that forged face, to get a little bit more flexion, a little bit more like trampoline-like effect off the face for some faster ball speeds. As we continue going through similarities and differences from Dark Speed to this new line of fairway woods, easily the biggest change we've seen in a long time with Cobra is a brand new adapter. I don't think they've changed adapters since it was like the F9 head, I want to say was when we saw the newest one. It was somewhere in that F series. But that brings us to the Future Fit 33 adapter. 33 different combinations of loft and lie that can all be changed independently of each other, which is massive.
Right.
A lot of times if you're changing loft or lie in other companies, it can make small changes to the other. If you're changing loft, it might slightly alter lie or vice versa. As we're talking about this, Sean, tell me about the advantage this adapter is going to give Cobra here in the fitting base.
Yeah, I mean, not only can you go and make this club so you add loft to it or subtract loft, kind of like what everybody else can do, but you can go and help them find more middle of the face by changing that lie angle, make it still a bit flatter, make it still more upright. Just gives you more potential to be more efficient.
Correct. It's because you're always like in here when we're fitting irons, let's say, when we're fitting irons, I wouldn't say it's every fitting, but most fittings we're changing lie angle just a little bit. Everyone is making contact with the ground differently. So if we can, especially with fairway wood, something that's already hard enough to hit, if we can make it a little bit easier by altering that lie angle to fit your swing plane a little bit better, that gives Cobra a massive leg up in here.
Just puts them above any other company out there.
Yep, I mean, it's kind of them and Titleist that have this technology. Titleist has been doing it, for as long as I can remember with like 16 different combinations of loft and lie. Cobra's kind of taking it that next step up where, again, it's 2 degrees in any direction. That, as fitters, that gives us the ability to kind of, as a jumping off point in a fitting, to go to a customer and be like, hey, we're going to start with this. We're going to see really what you need, because we can do anything we want within this to like make sure that you're making the best contact and the most efficient, as you said, surface interaction, making sure that we're just striking the ball and we don't have the toe or the heel digging too much.
Right. Gives you a tour truck in your hands.
Exactly. I love that. And then finally, I almost forgot talking about this, but I want to talk about the exterior weighting system that Cobra has, the customization we have with that, specifically in this LS where you have 2 forward weights and 1 back weight. Tell me what sort of leg up that gives Cobra in here as you move from LS to the Max with all the different options you have.
Yeah, I mean, in your LS, you get 2 13s and a 3-gram weight where you can go, and right now I think Luke's got it so the 2 13s are towards the front, push forward, and
Correct.
the 3 in the back. You could also go and say, hey, we want to go and have this draw a little bit more and give it a touch more forgiveness. Go and throw that 13 in the back instead of in the toe, and then the other one in the heel. Or say, hey, we want to go and have it so keep that a little more forgiveness, but trying to hook it less or toe it a little bit less, move that weight the other way there too.
Yep.
Say X just has that 1 weight placed in the back there, or say you get into your Max head, you have a 13-gram weight that, say you just want to go and have a very high MOI 3 wood, throw the 13 all the way in the back and that lighter weight in the heel, or need that forgiving high MOI 3 wood and the draw bias to it, you can throw that 13 in the heel there as well.
Yep. With both the Future Fit 33 adapter and the weighting system, the ability to customize that, I don't even know how many options that gives you now. I mean, you have 3 heads, but I mean, you have, I can't even imagine, I can't count how many options of fairway woods you really have, which really gives Cobra a leg up here in the fitting bays, again, as we keep saying that, of being able to really custom fit these fairway woods to a golfer's liking. I've always played flat through everything in my driver and my irons. I haven't really experimented a lot with fairway woods. Right now I'm playing a Titleist GT fairway wood and I have that in the flat setting. I've liked it a lot. I'm very excited to see what the Future Fit flat setting gives me in these, because my miss has always been a pull left. I hate that. I can't stand seeing the ball go left. So if I can do anything to minimize that, sign me up, man.
Yeah, I mean, no good golfer with speed likes to see that left miss.
Nope, because if it's going left, it's also going a little bit lower. That means when it hits the ground, it's going to keep running.
Right.
I've said it in pretty much every video. If I can have a high right miss, I am fine, man. High missing a little bit short and a little bit right is fine on pretty much every golf course except number 13 at Augusta.
Right.
A little short right miss, that's gonna end a tournament for a lot of folks, i.e. Jordan Spieth. But other than that, man, I think we touched on all like the new tech specs. Let's start hitting these and see what they do. There we go. Just a little bit of a tug. Just a tad bit of a tug. It felt good. What was the spin on that?
29.
So yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. Closed face.
Solid.
Just going a little bit too far left for me right now. That one felt a lot better, though. I got through that one more.
Yeah, spinning up to 3,100.
That's I mean, we want to see it at that like 3,500 number, which only means that I would probably want to play the HF head as opposed to the 14.5-degree head. Yeah.
Really good.
That was the best of the day. I feel like I got to work a little bit harder with this head, which is fine. Again, for your like super, super high speed, high spin player, it's going to be amazing for them.
Right.
What'd that spin at?
2,700.
Yeah, how far did that go then?
Yeah, I mean, it carried 277.
Yeah, that's too far for me for a 3-wood. It's cool, though.
Right. That's your best one.
Yeah, we started to find it. I watched that one climb like how I wanted it to.
Yeah, more middle of the face right there rather than slightly toe.
For sure. Yeah, this is one where, if anything, I might drop that heel weight back into the, again, the rear weight. So I have 13 at the toe, 13 in the back, and then 3 in the heel. That would probably help me out the best.
Yeah.
We were just playing it at the standard, kind of, again, how you would get it off the shelf, but Obviously, you can manipulate that whenever you want to. That was 4 good ones, right?
Yep.
Cool, let's check out the X head. Moving into the X head, I have to say, after hitting LS, looking down at this head next to it, I mean, again, not a major difference, but God, do I love the finish at the top. I'm always a sucker for all black, especially that matte black. So, I mean, I could get used to looking down at this. That was a little bit of a higher window, slightly off the toe.
But that's the same one you go and hit with that LS head, and it's knuckleball and diving left.
100%, dude. What was that spin off that toe?
Yeah, you still get 3,500 RPMs of spin there.
Yeah, sign me up for that.
That is so good.
Yeah. That might have been a little low on the face, so I may have lost a little bit of distance there. What were we at spin-wise?
3,600. I mean, you've hit those last two 0.3 yards different.
Is that good?
Yes.
Is that good?
259.4 and 259.7. Pretty dang good.
I mean, my 3-wood, I wanted to carry 260. That's where I wanted at, so I mean,
Dead on.
it's money.
Another good one.
Yep.
A little more left to right than where the other two kind of were.
It's a little closer to the heel. Not my favorite strike, but the forgiveness I see on that is amazing.
Yeah.
Did I lose a little bit of distance on that one?
Yeah, I mean, spin went up to 4,200. Same ball speed, but only thing we lost was, hey, spin went up.
As we said, a little short, a little right. Fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going
So
to be
fine with that.
just touch short of the green. You got a little chip shot. Way better than other misses.
Yeah, way better than long left.
Right.
That was munched. That knuckled a little bit. I think I just got a little higher in the face. But that one went forever, I think. Turn it over.
Yeah, spin down to 2,900 out to 269.
Which, yeah, I mean, that kind of strike, that's going to happen no matter what you're swinging. But overall, super, super impressed. Didn't really miss left with it. That flat setting really went to work. As we're talking about left, let's take a look at Max. Our final contestant of the night, the Max head, their more draw biased model. You know, we have the 13 in the back weight, the 3 in the heel, how it comes off the shelf. Just hypothesis, I guess, not going to be the head for me, just like it's been in every other video I've done. As a golfer who, again, does not like to see the ball go left, I would not normally go to a club that's going to make that happen more, but kind of want to show head-to-head of the ball flight tendency, so obviously we're going to kind of throw it on the mat, see what it does. Looks-wise, right off the bat, it does look sleek for that kind of draw Model 3 wood.
There's the left.
Yeah. Where'd that spin at?
3,900, which is going to be your thing you see with this little bit more forgiving head too, is that spin even on those little toe misses are going to stay up.
Yep.
It's hit really well.
Yeah. I gotta say, it's not going like super far left for me. Again, if I needed that, we would throw the 13 into the heel, but through 2 shots, I'm super impressed with. I mean, it's kind of just a real nice, tight draw.
Yeah, and it's consistent too. I mean, again, kind of like how that X was. Maybe not quite as far because that spins up a little bit, but 246.4 yards a carry and then 247.4 yards a carry, so 1 yard difference.
That just shows what spin does too to your ball flight in terms of overall distance.
Right. Even better.
That was hit a little bit harder. It's definitely getting in a different window in terms of launch as well.
Yeah. It's gone up from like 12, 13 and a half-ish to 14.
Yeah. Where were we at that one? That one had to have gone a little farther, right?
Oh yeah, 3,800 RPMs of spin, put up almost 161 ball speed, carried 256.
I fell a little bit back on that one. So, I mean, I just got under it a little bit, but that was still amazing. That barely went left.
Yeah, nice little draw. Spin stayed up around 3,700. Really, really good.
Awesome. That's 4, right?
Yep.
All righty. Just finished testing. Hit all 3 heads. Overall, I mean, massive fan of what Cobra did with this line of fairway woods. The first thing I want to talk about is feel. I absolutely love the way these things feel off the face. Talking about like favorite 3 woods of mine, stuff like one that I played forever was the Callaway Razor Fit Extreme. This felt incredibly similar to that, which again, numbers always have to say that a club's good for us, but if it doesn't feel good as well, it's really tough to put that into play to kind of get, it's like, man, I still want to hit the thing. Like if I don't like the way it feels, I don't want to swing it. So first and foremost, awesome. Second, when we get into ball flight, the LS kind of did as expected for me. We're going to talk about, again, numbers here in a second, but I'm guessing that, obviously, in terms of launch and spin, that I would probably benefit more from the 16-degree head as opposed to the 14.5 that we hit. The X model, that core model, was incredibly consistent. We talked about that distance control. So I have a feeling, obviously, that one's best for me. I really think that max head is going to help the golfer that does struggle with that slight miss of the right. Not even, I mean, it's going to help the person who slices, but even the person that has that kind of just like push cut, that max head is going to be massive for them. I'm going to throw it to you now. Take me through kind of what the bases, launch, spin, ball speed of all 3 of these heads.
Yeah, I mean, you go and look at that LS head, you can see on here, it was the fastest one, 163 miles an hour ball speed, launched at 11 degrees or just under 11 on average for you, spun just under 3,100. It's naturally going to be what wants to go the farthest.
Yep.
Go into the X head, slightly slower, 160 ball speed on it. It's launching just under 13 degrees, spinning 3,500, kind of more what would be perfect for you.
That's,
yeah.
I mean, 13 to 30, I mean, I think that's the perfect 3-wood number, honestly.
Exactly. It's how we talked about at the start. Perfect numbers.
It's awesome.
Get in the max head, and you go and see again a touch slower, 158 ball speed for it, launching just under 14 degrees, spinning 3,900. It's going to be your most forgiving, most consistent one.
Yep. I mean, ball speed wise, we're talking about differences between all 3. One, I was a little bit more tired towards the end, so that could be one contributing factor to the ball speed. But 2, I mean, as we talk about center of gravity, the more you push center of gravity forward, it has the chance to come off the face a little bit faster. You pull CG back, a chance for it to be a little bit slower. So seeing that from head to head doesn't shock me all that much. Hearing the spin differences between all 3 is really, really good. The LS is supposed to stay, again, all remaining the same. The LS is supposed to be that low one. The core model for me is supposed to be at that 3,500. And then it's really good to see that max actually get a little bit closer up to that 39. For the person that might struggle with fairway woods, especially with the height, for so many people, when it comes to fairway woods, one of the main things we see is that it's hard for the golfer that doesn't have a lot of speed to get the necessary height for a ball to reach its peak carry distance. So something like that max head, if we can get just that little bit of extra spin on it, a little bit of extra height, you might actually see more distance out of that compared to something like an LS because you're just going to see it go farther. One final thing that we want to talk about in here, the most important thing, honestly, to look at in a fitting is dispersion. I already kind of have an idea, but Sean, tell me which of these heads worked the best, which of them didn't, which one I would probably want to play.
Yeah, I mean, you can go and look at this here. You can see LS was great at times. We had 2 of them that were just bombed and hit really, really well. But then we had 2 of them where that dreadful left miss that we don't want to see.
Yeah.
You get into the X and you're able to hit it a lot straighter there. Yeah, I might have drawn one just a little bit, but 1 out of 3 drawn. We hit it pretty well at least.
And like you said, it drew, but it didn't overdraw on me. It still stayed like, if I hit that miss that you're talking about on the golf course, for the most part, I'm fine. It's
Right.
not like that left LS miss where that's going left, it's going low, where, I mean, I'm staring double bogey in the face after a swing like that.
Right. Yeah, then you get in the max head, and yeah, we had one, that last ball you hit kind of just stayed a little bit straighter there, but the other 3 drew about the same, more consistent, a lot smaller circle there. Something more designed for your golfer who maybe misses a little more right, needs that little more forgiveness. Very stable club, but in the end there, that X head, definitely something that would be better for you.
Yep. Again, even though, like, as we looked at the circle, the max circle was a little bit tighter, but it was just more to the left. So, like, again, me as the golfer, we've said it 20 times in this video, but I don't like left. So that already eliminates that driver for me where, like you said, the X head, I could very easily put that head in play tomorrow and be fine on the golf course.
Right.
Overall, man, I'm super thrilled with what Cobra did with these fairway woods. I said it in the driver video, I've been very close to playing Cobra, both driver and fairway woods over the last couple of years. With what they did with this hosel, it might take that next step for me where there's a very strong chance that X head in the fairway wood is going to be in my bag. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. That about wraps it up. It's really cool seeing people watch these videos. Please leave a comment below of other videos you might want to see us shoot in the future. But other than that, I'm Luke.
And I'm Sean.
See you guys.